reason I was really keen for us to get together tonight is that I think when we get into these processes, we often get so caught up in thinking about working out and thinking about eating right and etc etc, and we actually very very rarely find the time just to pause and to think and just reflect. And that's kind of what I wanted us to sort of try and do tonight. I'm also really conscious that when I said to you guys at the start of the process that I wanted us to sort of make progress in these 4 circles, and that will in turn improve our overall health. I feel like we've not really connected those things up really, really nicely. So I wanted to start to encourage you to sort of do that this evening, and then maybe it's something that we'll try and do on sort of like a 4 to 6 week sort of basis. And I think it's something that it's really important that we do as we sort of move along. So on your piece of paper, hopefully you've all got a piece of paper. I've got my paper too. So I want you to sort of divide your page into 2/3 and a third. So I want you to sort of just draw a line straight down. So you've got 2/3 on the left and a third on the right. It doesn't have to be neat, although I'd love you to send me some photos of what you've done at the end. And then on the left side, so on the larger side, on your 2/3 side, I want you to draw your 4 circles. So just doesn't have to be neat, just your four nice big circles. And then once you've done that, I want you to then label them: fuel, move, life, and habit. So however you want to do it. So just think about your fuel, life, move, and habits. This has changed slightly. I've sort of changed it from lifestyle to life, so it all matches. But anyway, that's a different conversation. So there's your 4 circles. So now what I want you to do, and just as a little bit of a reminder, these are what they all mean. So fuel is about what we're putting into our bodies, how we're fueling our bodies. Our movement is all about, are we moving our body enough and as effectively as possible? Life or lifestyle is all about those practices outside of movement and health that influence our overall health and lifestyle, like sleep, self-care, mindfulness, stress management. And then habits are things that we're starting. So we know all the research says that it goes from a short-term fix to a long-term gain if we instill these sort of habits, we ingrain these habits as we go along. So think about the things that you're doing on a day-to-day and a week-to-week basis, things that are just becoming robotic now. So in each circle, I want you to say 2 positive things that you're doing for each. Okay. So if I can share mine with you if you want. So mine are that that I've really limited the amount of food that we're eating out. So very, very rarely are we going out for food, especially in the evening. So like those really high calories, sort of like burgers, pizzas, evening meals out. We really limited that. And I've also got really, really consistent with my breakfasts as well. So my breakfasts are pretty consistent now. Granola, yogurt, mixed berries, and that pretty much since January has been consistent. So they're my sort of fuel ones. It could be things around planning evening meals. It could be things around your lunches and stuff like that. So 2 things that you're doing really well, just in terms of fuel. And they've got to be things you're doing well, not that you need to work on, just that you're doing well. And then obviously within movement, what you're doing well with your movement. So again, sort of my examples are that I'm hitting sort of 12 to 15,000 steps every day, like no negotiating. I've seen a real increase in my strength, which is good, even though I'm on a calorie deficit, same as a lot of you guys. And I've also had some really good consistency with my strength training as well. So since January, I've been getting to the gym sort of a minimum of 4 times a week. So I've seen some really good consistency around that as well, which is obviously why I've seen some results. So 2 things that you're doing really well with your movement. Lifestyle, so life, some practices outside that you're doing well to promote your health. So 2 things that you're doing here. So something that I've really found good is I've literally just bought this big pad of paper, and all I do is just write shit down, basically. Like I just find it so therapeutic, just writing stuff down, like whatever's on my mind I write down, and that for me is therapy. So that's something that I've sort of worked on. It kind of started as journaling, and then really sort of just evolved into really just writing stuff down that's on my mind. I have a really consistent bedtime. You guys that know me will know that I'm in bed pretty early every night, and that's one of the that is like one of the absolute most important things you can do for a good night's sleep is have a consistent bedtime. So that's something that I do well. And another thing that I just thought of, just you guys might not do this, I have a sleep tea before I go to bed every night as well, and that's something that might have an impact on sleep. It might not have an impact, but there's just a little something that I do that could impact my sleep. But there's loads of things you could do there. It might be about meditation or any practices that you're sort of looking after yourself, but are not sort of movement or fuel. Then the last one is then habits. So what things since January or since you started have you started to ingrain, like every single week without fail, or every single day without failure? Is it having the same breakfast? For me, it's prepping food on a Sunday. I've been religious. Every Sunday I make an hour and I do it, and I don't even think about it. It's non-negotiable now. And the other one is trying to hit 3,000 calories a day. So they're my sort of two sort of weekly and daily habits that I've sort of done since Jan. All good. So I'll move on. You can obviously come back to that, but that's the premise. 2 or 3 good things that you're doing in those circles. Now, the next thing that I want you to do is on the right-hand side of your page. So that's what we're doing well in each circle. So on the right-hand side of your page, I want you to draw a triangle. So when you're small a bit, I want you to draw a triangle. And we call this, or this is sort of known as the health triangle. I probably told you about this at the start. So our health triangle is our 3 forms of health. So we should be, I think the National Health, the World Health Organization's definition is a complete state of social, mental, and physical well-being. That's how we define health. So social, mental, and physical. So social is really about how you can connect with others, whether it be like your family, your friends, your colleagues, like how you are sort of socially. But one of the biggest things about social health is that ability to be really present, and like when you're engaging with another person, like how present are you in that moment, listening to them, talking to them. So just that's something to really think about. Like, can you interact with others, whether it be your family or your friends, and just be like really present without other shit going on in your head? So that's sort of a big part of social health, not just your ability to sort of interact with others and be able to connect with others, but also like be really present with them as well. And obviously mental is all about our feelings, our thoughts, and that sort of stuff. And then obviously physical could be like aesthetically, it could be sort of performance, or it could be just sort of really how our body copes with day-to-day activities. And then what I want you to do then is give yourself a score out of 10. So I want you to rate your 3 healths out of 10. So where you think you are currently. So in terms of your physical health, your social health, and your mental health, where are you out of 10 for those 3 sides of the triangle? Can't copy our answer. And then, so then I guess I could sort of leave you on this point. I guess I've done my 15 minutes. I try to stick to 15-20 minutes each week. So this is sort of something I want to leave you on. So you've said what you're doing well. So the things that you're doing well in the 4 areas. You've then given yourself a score out of 10 for each side of your health triangle. And then what you to do is write down 3 or 4 things that you want to focus on over the next 4 weeks. Okay, so let's think about, right, what things am I doing well? Let's look at my triangle. Which side of my triangle is weak? So what am I going to change in my circles over the next 4 weeks that's going to help with that? So would it be, I don't know, you might want to read before bed. It might be meditation. It might be journaling. It might be, well, I need to do more steps. It might be that I need to stop eating out. I don't know, whatever it might be. So I just want you to think about, and you don't obviously have to do this right now, but it's something that I want you to do, and I want you to send it to me as well. I want you to take a picture of it and share it with me. I'll be really intrigued about what you've sort of written down.